So we're doing a little bit of maintenance here on old wobbles before the winter season strikes for the next, basically 6 months. So anybody who has been following this build since the beginning, I got this rig from a customer because it had training problems. The sprag clutch won't hold on hills, and she didn't want to do anything with it. So that's the story of how the ZJ became mine. So I figured, the transpan was leaking pretty bad. I just used some cheap stuff on it back then. So I was like, well, it's time to seal this up. I don't want fluid dripping all over my driveway either. So I pulled the pan off. We got some metal in there, not a lot. It'd be great if the camera could focus on that. It's typical amount. This is 5 years, 4 years, 5 years. So yeah, I got a little bit of metal there. That spot there sat on top of that spot there. So, the old pan's beat up. It's probably factory. So I figured, throw a new filter in there while we're at it. This is just some cheap O'Reilly stuff. It's just, all of these are made by the same 8-year-old kids in the same dirt floor warehouses anyway. So it's not like one is way better than another. So I had to take the drive shaft out to grease it as well, and I got this skid plate on here that kind of protects that front. Basically when you're driving over something, it kind of gives it a little ramp to go over. So you got this bent control arm here, and the old girl's seen some damage. Here's the old Adam shaft and the other skid plate that covers the transfer case. So we're going to clean this up, make sure we get good grease in here before we put it all back together. So one of the things that I've always wanted to do, well, I don't know if I've always wanted to do it, but put on a little bit of a deeper pan. This is a PML. It's for an A500, A99 42RE. These are expensive. It's about $320 for this, but it's solid cast. I'd say it's probably 3/16 thick here on the walls. It's hard to say exactly, but it's got some baffles to prevent sloshing, and these for heat dissipation. Also got a lube block or gasket here, so eventually this tranny is going to come out of here. I got another one to put in it that's got way less mileage on it, but those rubber gaskets, you squish them down and they leak. They always leak. So I couldn't get the pan in there with this skid. You can kind of see how that works out. So I had to pull the drive shaft out anyway in order to get that in there. So this is just a little bit of maintenance and updating and renaming it. I spent a lot of time in the snow too, so this is going to help keep them tranny temperatures down. So yeah, not really too much exciting here. You can find these online. Just type in A500 aluminum deep pan by PML. They're all over the place. It's $320. It's expensive. A lot of people are gonna say, "I'll never put that type of money into a 42RE, you idiot." Well, maybe.